Cycles. Cycles tend to repeat themselves, but after them we don't come back as the same. The transformation, the touch they leave in us can change the whole equation. These so-called transformations are changes that cannot be predicted. The changes come without warning, without explanations and leave marks on us. That only with time, maybe in the future, we will be able to analyze what they did in us and how we transform. Hi there, everyone. Here's Nicolas Fiorentino, and this is my project for Glogauair Arts residency. Berlin is part of me. It started as a street photography project, and then with time it became also a photobook project. I had this need of finding myself, trying to relate myself into a new environment. It was my first experience abroad. It was really important for me personally, and also helped me construct a new identity, finding myself as an artist, which was really important for me. Berlin is a city that invites people to express themselves. This project was almost 3 years long, 4 years long process living in the city of Berlin, and it changed a lot also when I moved out of Berlin. It changed my relationship, of course, with the city, but still there is this connection. That's also why it's called Berlin is part of me. I think it's not only a personal perspective, it's also a connection, and to empathize the relationship we all can have with the city and space, and how we can relate with our past, our identities that we created, and the identities we're creating forward for the future. I guess after a few years, I started having this idea of creating a project, a long-term project that could connect my personal experience also with my artistic growth. It was the first time I noticed how big change it made for me that the project turned into a physical form. And it was then when I started asking myself how I can take my project beyond. And this is what I've been working on during this residency. During this residency for Glogauair, I started developing this idea of taking photography beyond, to being able to connect in a different way. I had the chance to experiment, to open up to different processes. I had a big influence from fellow photographers that I know that are working on cyanotype or different kind of printing, and this was a big inspiration for me to evolve this project, take it out of normal printing, and being able to start to understand this experience from a different perspective. This was really interesting because I found myself understanding different concepts about my project that I haven't noticed before. This whole experience during the residency, it became like also a personal and interesting research, where I could also analyze my relationship with my story, with this time, with the city of Berlin, and actually the relationship between space and time. That is basically what defines all about us, like our environment, the people we're with. Everything can change our experience and also interfere or influence our identity. I wanted to represent my experience in an object and to be able to connect with it in a different way. That's why in this case I choose to start working with glass. Glass for me represented something like this fragile but also structured physical object that I could reflect myself and also try to print these images that represent so much for me. It's kind of I started kind of working on this idea of how this these memories I have of this time, this identity I developed during this time in Berlin, kind of helped me grow somehow personally and also in my artistic perspective. So now I'm in this stage where I want to keep proceeding and trying to evolve my photography or at least change my perspectives. So for me, this was really meaningful and important to be able to take the experience and all that I've been working on that is already part of me, part of my identity, and express it and put it out in some object. In this case was tried out with glass, but I think I'm gonna keep exploring to try with different objects or see where this takes me on. I think this just opened me a gate for new ways of expressing my art and creating.